Hey there, busy mama. I got you. No need to worry. I did the homework for you. As your wellness concierge, I'll connect you to greater health and guide you to be fully alive and well. I'm a former Navy nurse and lactation consultant turned homeschool mama, focusing my love of education and health and wellness toward helping others. I don't even pretend to have it all together, and I'm totally okay with that. I can keep it real. I'm here for encouragement, sharing my voice and my journey, and to have fun. And just maybe a little learning too. Here, you'll find education, empowerment, and authenticity on a weekly basis. I am your host, Stacey Myers, the Hotmess Homeschooler. Welcome to the podcast. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back. Can you believe that it is the end of April? Where is time going? I can't even with the fact that we are already 1/3 of the way through 2022. Like, it's insane to me. I hope that all of you are doing well. And today I want to talk to you about diet. I know. Crazy. I'm not going to preach to you though, but this has been something that's been on my heart and in my mind for a while, and just some of the real life struggles that I've had. And again, if I've had them, I'm willing to bet that you kind of find yourself in the same boat as well. So when I'm talking about diet here, I don't mean like calorie restriction or whatever. I mean more of a way of eating, not necessarily a weight loss plan, but more of, like I said, a way of eating for health. So I have read, I swear, almost every book and every different style that's out there. Paleo, South Beach, keto, intermittent fasting, vegan, whole foods plant-based, blood type diet, gluten-free, grain-free, blood sugar and insulin, dairy-free. Like, there's so many things out there. Like, it's crazy. And it can be so confusing because the books themselves are written by doctors in most cases or nutritionists. And sometimes, and even, with a lot of them, there's confusing and conflicting information in them. They kind of like cancel each other out, if that makes sense. They all have studies to back up, their claims, but, I just feel like after, like I said, reading so many, because it's very interesting and fascinating to me how nutrition can totally impact your overall health and well-being. And I definitely believe, you have to start healing your body from the inside out, and what you put in your mouth plays a huge part in that. So with reading all these different books, like I said, some of it's conflicting and it's confusing. And then you get to the point where you're almost like paralyzed because you have so much information. And then you think, like, what can I eat? Like, can I eat beans? Are they healthy? Or is it the lectins in them that's a problem? What about carbs? Is it high fat or low fat? Is protein moderate, or do I increase it? Are we doing carbs or not? It's very confusing. Fruits are another thing. Some people are very much about, high fat and low sugar, and that includes the fruits. Some people say, fruits and vegetables. So it's, like I said, it can make your head spin. And I think out of all the research that I've done, I have really just kind of come to the conclusion that one size does not fit all. I mean, there will be that, if you're in certain groups, you will find the majority of the people, because they found what's working for their body. But there's always the other people who are like, oh, I tried this and it didn't do anything for me. So it's a journey, For example, we all know, I think, kind of as a whole, that fruits and vegetables are healthy for you, right? Yes, organic and, depending on maybe certain ones. And, of course, um, there's always the outliers, right? But as a general statement, fruits and vegetables, okay? I have seen so many people, like anecdotally, that are doing well on carnivore diet, which seems completely absurd to me. It's just from like, I'm a nurse and everything I quote unquote know about nutrition, not that I'm an expert by any means. But they're literally watch them go from like, say, more of a whole foods, plant-based diet to carnivore and watched inflammation and like their skin cleared up and the inflammation decreased and they look like so vibrant and they're literally eating meat and high-fat cheese. That's it. No plants, which is insane, because then you look at the other hand where it's like, the red meat should be causing cancer and having gut issues and the high fat and with the cardiac stuff. I mean, it's crazy. So this is what I'm saying though. I just feel like there's no one size fits all. And it's like you're in a sea of so much information and you don't know who to believe, really. I mean, and so I think ultimately, it's just a journey. There is something out there that works for you. You just have to find it. And I mean, you almost have to be a science experiment of one. Because, honestly, it doesn't matter to me if, all the research in the world shows this for this population. It matters to me what it's going to have an impact on me and my health. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's so personal. You have to be the one that's obtaining the food and you have to eat it and everything else. So, those are great to give you an idea. But ultimately, we all have to make these decisions for ourselves. So, the only frustration is that it's a timely process to kind of walk this out. It's costly if you try different foods, and certain diets have like, special types of ingredients or special types of foods. It can be very frustrating, as I can tell you. The keto thing and intermittent fasting, like I've read the books, like I said, I see the research, did nothing for me. Nothing. Like I felt worse on keto, probably because I have no gallbladder. And as far as the intermittent fasting, that's how my body would naturally want to eat anyways. And if that was the case, I would be super skinny and super healthy. So I don't know why. I know I've read the studies. I see it should work, but ultimately it's not. So I have to kind of get rid of what I thought I know or knew and start really looking at, let me try something different because, I just don't know. And, corroborating it with how, weight loss, yes, that can be a goal because for me, I know I'm overweight. So I definitely want to get down to, a healthy weight for my body. I don't have any like delusions of looking like a supermodel or anything, but it's so important. And then, so not only weight loss, but how do you feel in your body? Do you have energy? Hopefully you're waking up and you can meet all of your day-to-day tasks. I have young kids, we homeschool. So I always want to make sure like I'm up to par. And overall, like I said, I do good, but I know physically, like I am not anywhere near where I want to be for myself. And mentally, it's so worth the effort to put in to this journey and to kind of figure that out. So, and I've been talking about this, like this seems to keep coming up for me in different groups that I'm in, on social media, but also in real life. Like I've had these conversations many times. My daughter and I were, having this conversation as well. And about a year ago, a little over a year ago, last January, 2021, she decided to go vegan and kind of see what the hype was all about, right? And she did really well on it. And then, she really was wanting sushi. So that's how she kind of stopped. And then, she just kind of got out of it. We did a whole podcast episode. She had watched a documentary, What the Health, and it really inspired her. So fast forward to about a month ago. And she just, we had come home from a road trip, and she said, I'm not feeling great. I think, the only reason I stopped doing, I don't want to say vegan because it's not a thing. Like, she just, trying to really focus on fruits and vegetables and, getting more plant-based protein. So it's not like a very rigid, hard and fast type thing that she's doing, but she decided to try it again. And she said, I don't really know why I stopped, because I felt really good. So, she cut down on her sugar. She cut down on her refined carbs. She does have some whole grains, but really eats just a lot of vegetables. And it's been really interesting to see the change in her body. You can just tell, again, the inflammation is gone. She slimmed down, and I mean, she didn't have a weight problem, or she's not overweight at all, but it's like literally like she just shaved a layer off of herself. And it's noticeable. She looks great, and she feels good ultimately, which is the main thing. And it's also been interesting because she's noticing now when she does eat gluten that she feels it in her body, in her gut, and it makes her feel yucky, which is really interesting because when she was little, she had some issues, and the nurse practitioner we were seeing told me to remove dairy and gluten. We got her on like probiotics and some other supplements, and it was awesome because she really, like, that diet change and doing that really got her out of the issues and the stage that she was in. And once we kind of healed her gut, she, of course, and with time, we have reverted back to eating very normally, we don't remove gluten. We're not overly focused on that. And so much time has gone by now, like 10 years, right? So she's been tolerating it, I would say. And now that she removed it again, kind of just with, eliminating a lot of the grains and stuff like that and the processed foods and fried food and stuff, she can really feel a difference if she does choose to have something. So that has been a real eye-opener for her. And I love the fact that she made that connection herself. So, whereas, of course, when she was 5 and I was managing her diet, that's a different story. But she made that connection. She sees how she feels. She feels how she feels, right? And so I think for her to come up with this and make this connection is really going to make lasting change for her because she knows. And again, she's 15 and we all know how just, again, like I said, time and everything else. But it's good that she has this self-awareness at 15 years old. I mean, she's so in touch with her body in a way that I just never was when I was that age. And I think it's amazing that, she has this, she's literally my goals, y'all. I'm telling you what. So all of this to say, I'm just kind of verbally processing this all with you. I have no answers on this at all. I'm still on my journey. I feel like I have tried so many different things. I think out of everything that I have done over the last, I would say 10 or 15 years myself, paleo was probably the thing that did me the best. So, but I don't know, because like I said, I am now older. I am sure I have some underlying hormonal issues. I have the lymphatic issues. Time has definitely marched on in my body. I'm nearing perimenopause. So I don't know. I do know, I do work on gut health and opening up my detox pathways, and all of that. So there are a lot of things I'm doing now that I wasn't, that do make me, that are pluses in that, health category. So it's not all just a catastrophe, but I really feel that the diet component for me has been lacking. Part of it is, our lifestyle, and, I do feel busy a lot, and I know what I need to do. I know I need to meal plan. I know, I need to have this stuff and have it ready to go. So that way I'm not caught by surprise. But y'all, I'm just going to be honest. I suck at that. That's never been my strong suit. My sister, on the other hand, she has these jarred meals made up and her salads and everything ready to go. And so, I think that's why she's super successful with all of her stuff. I need to take a page out of her book and my daughter's, clearly. I wish I was one of the lucky ones that could get it right away, but I'm not sure what is going to be the right thing for me. But, I talked about the confusion and the conflicting information, but overall, I think there are some good tenets that everybody can kind of take away, right? I guess unless you're carnivore, I would say eating more fruit and veggies, and primarily veggies, is really important. And again, looking for organic, or at least the Clean 15 and Dirty Dozen, to know which ones are higher in pesticides and stuff. So if you can't do all organic, you can make those choices. Well, if you do animal protein, enjoying it from quality pastured sources where the animals are allowed to be themselves, and live how an animal should and be fed the right diet for them. Not in the conventional factory farming industry. Cutting out processed foods and sugars is huge. And I think, again, my biggest struggle is even just eating at home, planning ahead. So I'm not running out and trying to eat on the go, or, ordering out food or going out to eat, because that's a gut and a wallet buster. It's just crazy. I am terrible and totally non-compliant with food journaling. I have had several people and doctors and providers suggest to me that I journal, and I'm awful at it. I'm trying, but I think even, again, at the very least, of paying attention to how you feel in your body, especially 2 hours after eating. And like I was talking about with my daughter, some of those connections can be made. Ideally, yes, you would write it down. But to start thinking oh, I feel really crappy and I just had pasta, and the last time I had pasta, I felt really crappy, to start kind of making those connections, for yourself, because there is no, again, one size fits all. This sounds kind of funny. Chew your food thoroughly, each and every bite. And it's funny because growing up, my sister and I, used to make fun of my mom for this. She chews so meticulously. And now the more and more reading I'm doing about it, it makes me laugh, because of course she was right. And, it's great advice because it allows the food, instead of just wolfing down your food, right? Which also has impact on your satiety clues, you can't know you're full if you go all the way past that, right? But when you chew your food slowly, allows your body time to feel full, but also it reduces the surface area of what you're eating. So that way, once it hits your stomach with your stomach acid, it can be broken down and digested much better. Also, I think giving your body a break from eating, for 12 to 14 hours, which is kind of a form of intermittent fasting in itself. But I think, our bodies do need time to rest and digest without constantly being fed. And again, there's the crowd who thinks, small, frequent meals throughout the day with snacks. I'm not a snacker. I would only eat twice. But again, if that was working for me, then I think I wouldn't be doing this podcast. So it's just a matter of figuring that out. But ultimately, like I said, from usually the evening till wake up time, to give your body a chance to just, have that rest time. It's not having to work. Those of us with no gallbladder or low stomach acid may need to consider some support with digestive enzymes to help properly break down and assimilate the nutrients. If you have no gallbladder, something like an ox bile or pepsin supplement can really be helpful with your meals to, like I said, help break down that food so it's not just sitting there. And then, of course, probiotics and other things that can be helpful to good gut health. So if you're looking for nutritional support, you can go to my website, hotmesshomeschooler.com/linkme. And I have specific brands on there, but I also have a professional grade supplement dispensary that you can find your favorites there. I don't ever recommend ordering off of Amazon because you're not really sure what you're going to get, especially if it's coming from those third party. I have heard lots of cases of people getting like fake supplements on there. And I mean, let's face it, supplements aren't cheap. And if you're going to take the time and the energy to, devote to taking them, you want to get what you're paying for. So I definitely recommend checking out my full script dispensary. And like I said, if there's any other specific things you're looking for, you can find them at hotmesshomeschooler.com/linkme. So, okay, I want to know from you guys, what have you found that works for your body? Like what diet plan do you feel the best on? Is it a specific way of eating? Do you just kind of intuitively know? Do you avoid certain foods or a food group? Do you eat small, frequent meals? Do you fast? I'm really curious because, like I said, this is just a fascinating topic, and to see how individualized it truly is. I'd love to know more. So comment below and let me know. Connect with me on the socials or through my website. I'd love to continue this conversation. So until next time, friends, be alive and well, and I will talk to you next week. Hey, thanks for listening. Head on over to hotmesshomeschooler.com where you'll find all the things. Connect with me on socials, check out the blog, and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform. I look forward to serving you. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, be alive and well.